Hello, welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd, and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got some huge news coming out from Ukraine. We've got reports that again last night, a new barrage of missiles and drones struck Ukraine's energy grid. We had 16 missiles fired and 13 Shahed drones that were also fired from the Russians, targeting southeastern Zaporizhzhia and also western Lviv regions. So we did have reports that at least one power energy substation was attacked and hit. We had reports in Zaporizhzhia that two energy workers were injured when a fire broke out after it was struck. So apparently Ukraine's air defenses intercepted 12 of the 16 missiles, and 13 of the drones that were fired were shot down as well. But some of these missiles did make it in. And right now, Ukraine's energy infrastructure is completely destroyed, okay? Majority of it is gone. I've talked a lot about DTEC. It's a major energy company stating that more than 80% of the energy infrastructure for that company is gone, okay? So Ukraine's energy is just suffering right now, and they continue to repeatedly attack it. The Russians do, that is, and it's just completely destroying their energy grid. So they're back to starting to, implement more of these rolling blackouts to protect the energy grid. And as we continue to move through the year, it's going to make it more and more difficult for Ukraine, especially when they get to the winter time. It could be even worse to maintain their population and keep the lights on. Okay, it's going to be very difficult considering that Russia's doing this almost every week. It seems like at least for sure once every 2 weeks. And I also had some reports that I wanted to share with you that apparently just the other day, I think it was on Thursday, there's been lots of exchange of fire back and forth from Ukraine and Russia, and apparently on Thursday, Ukraine's energy grid got struck again. So so just 2 days ago, is when this happened, and now it's happening again. Okay, so at some point, Ukraine's energy grid is going to completely fail. Okay, if the Russians keep continuously doing this, at some point they're just going to have no power anymore. At least in majority of these areas that continue to be struck. And we did a report just a few days ago, actually, talking about the fact that Russia was going to propose a new offer to Ukraine at some point, and it wasn't going to be a ceasefire proposal. It was actually going to be a condition of surrender of the Kiev government. So why would and this came out from their parliament, okay, from Russian parliament? Why would they come out and say this? That the next proposal was going to be for surrender, okay? And if they continue striking their energy grid, this would be the quickest way to collapse Ukraine, in my opinion. If they didn't have any electricity, there'd be mass chaos there, okay? Electricity is obviously very important. So what we're seeing here in this video is in the Kharkiv region. In case you're wondering, there was some pool goers here just hanging out during the day, and then all of a sudden some missiles come flying into Kharkiv. We had reports as well that Kharkiv got hit several times. And we'll also have some video footage here in a little bit showing some more attacks on Kharkiv. We had 2 people that were killed, unfortunately, in a densely populated area of Kharkiv, and also more than a dozen people that were wounded. So I've got some information to go over here with you guys today. Thanks for hanging out with me and being patient. So this is on CBS News. Russia targets Ukrainian energy facilities with new barrage of missiles. So this is just coming out today. Russia launched a new barrage of missiles and drones in an overnight attack in Ukraine, officials in Kiev said Saturday, damaging energy facilities in the country's southeast, and west, and injuring at least 2 workers. Ukraine is struggling with a new wave of rolling blackouts after relentless Russian attacks on energy infrastructure that started 3 months ago took out half the country's power generation capacity. Isn't that crazy? In just 3 months, they were able to take out over 50% of Ukraine's power generation capacity. That's insane. In its 8th major attack on energy facilities overnight, Russia fired 16 missiles and 13 Shahed drones, the Ukrainian Air Force said. Ukraine's air defenses intercepted 12 of the 16 missiles and 13 drones launched by Russia, the Air Force said. State-owned power grid operator Ukrenergo said that the strikes damaged equipment at facilities in southeastern Zaporizhzhia and western Lviv regions. So 2 regions were damaged. Okay, both of these regions that were targeted, the Zaporizhzhia region and Lviv, both got hit. 2 energy workers were injured in Zaporizhzhia when a fire broke out in an energy facility, according to regional governor Ivan Fedorov. With no major changes reported along the 1,000-kilometer front line, where a recent push by the Kremlin's forces in eastern and northeastern Ukraine has made only incremental gains, Both sides have taken aim at infrastructure targets, seeking to curb each other's ability to fight in a war that is now in its third year. Moscow's overnight attack on Zaporizhzhia and Lviv follows Ukrainian military strikes on 3 oil refineries in southern Russia overnight into Friday. So I reported on this yesterday. Definitely was a very major attack from the Ukrainians, launching hundreds of drones targeting the Krasnodar region, Crimea, Bryansk region. It was a very, very massive attack. Air defenses destroyed 5 drones over the Sea of Azov and country's western Bryansk and Smolensk regions. The Russian Ministry of Defense said a man was killed in shelling of Russia's Belgorod region, which borders Ukraine, according to regional governor Vyacheslav Gladkov. So even the Belgorod region coming under attack. This war is just really popping off right now. Excuse me. It's not being widely reported, but right now both sides are just heavily attacking each other, and that's what we've really been seeing. And I've been reporting on this for several days now, this whole situation over here. The attacks are really starting to pick up from both sides, not just from Russia, but Ukraine's doing the same thing to Russia right now. Like I said, just the other day, they launched hundreds of drones into the Krasnodar region in Crimea. The governor of eastern Ukraine's partly occupied Donetsk region said Saturday that the Russian attacks had killed 5 people and wounded 7 the previous day. In Russia-controlled part of the region, Moscow-installed Governor Denis Pushilin said 3 people were killed and 4 were injured in shelling by Ukrainian forces Saturday morning. A policeman was killed in the partly occupied region of Kherson as a result of a Russian drone attack on a checkpoint, the Ukrainian National Police said. So look at that. We even had a policeman that was killed in a drone attack from the Russians inside of Kherson, okay, the Kherson region. So very, very big news here, guys. Their energy infrastructure is just really suffering right now, and it's getting worse and worse by the day. So I can't imagine, Ukraine lasting throughout the rest of the year here if they can't even maintain their energy system, and it continues to come under attack almost every week. So imagine, too, we just had reports that it was the United States Vice President Kamala Harris, okay? She was at the G7 summit recently, and when she was there, the U.S. pledged $1.5 billion to Ukraine to help them rebuild their energy infrastructure, okay? So they're going to be getting help to rebuild, but it's going to take time for them to do so. How can they rebuild these fast enough when Russia can just overnight destroy a significant portion of Ukraine's power grid? It takes much longer to repair these and get them back online than it does for Russia to just launch some missiles over the border and strike their energy infrastructure, okay? So I've got a couple things to show you here on X now that we're going to go over. This is from DTEC Group, that's a major energy company, inside of Ukraine. It says DTEC thermal power plant hit in a new wave of Russian attacks, 3 workers injured. So this was actually reported on Thursday, and this is what I wanted to show you, that information that was coming out regarding this, that it was, once again, this was the 7th attack right here, and the one we reported on CBS News was the 8th attack. So let's go ahead and take a look at this too. DTEC suffered significant damage to thermal power plant following a barrage of Russian drone attacks today early on Thursday. The attacks marked the 7th large-scale attack on DTEC's infrastructure since March 22nd, 2024. So that's how long this has been going on for several months now, okay, about 3 months. When Russia launched its biggest offensive against Ukraine's energy system since the full-scale invasion in 2022. During this period, DTEC power plants have endured more than 180 strikes, resulting in 53 workers injured and 3 losing their lives. So look at that. Even, there's even these workers here that are trying to manage these power plants that there's been 3 of them that have been unfortunately killed, 53 that have been injured. So clearly, definitely major attacks here consistently happening on Ukraine's energy grid. And here's just a little picture they put out here too that talks about this. So this was actually on Thursday, okay? This was not widely reported. Like I said, I wasn't even able to catch this at the time, but that's why I wanted to share this. So just a few days ago, they got hit, and now they're getting hit again on Saturday. So they've got to be suffering big time when it comes to their energy grid. Finally, we're going to talk a little bit about Kharkiv here. This is from Mario Nafal. Russian shelling kills 2 in Kharkiv. Russian shelling in Ukraine's Kharkiv killed at least 2 and wounded 18 today, hitting a densely populated area. Overnight, Russia launched 16 missiles and 13 drones targeting energy facilities and causing new rolling blackouts. Ukraine intercepted 12 missiles and all drones. damage was reported in Zaporizhzhia and Lviv regions, and the source was AP. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. We've got two videos here that looks like in the same intersection where this building got struck, and again there was 2 people that were killed unfortunately and 18 wounded inside of Kharkiv. So let's look at these real quick. Okay, so just a quick 3-second clip to show you here that some random building here was struck. We can clearly see a lot of damage here. There's debris in the street, people walking around here. This is in the center of Kharkiv where it got struck, and I'm not sure what exactly this target was, why Russia went after this, but what we've seen many times is Russia targeting random civilian infrastructure, okay? And this could be to just scare the people in the population here to make them try to leave, because obviously, what we've been seeing is Russia targeting the Kharkiv region, trying to take it over. I'm sure they want to take Kharkiv. That's a very major objective for them, which they're struggling to do so right now. But yeah, definitely what we see here continuously is civilian infrastructure targeted from the Russians. So also, we've got one more video here to take a look at. So let's see this and then we'll talk about it. So in this video, this looks like the same intersection because we can see lots of the debris here, but this gives us a good view whenever he pans the camera this direction over here. Look at that. Got hit right there by a missile as well. Completely destroyed that building. And so it looks like 2 buildings here got hit. This giant building here, and then over here on the side. We'll roll this one more time and let you see. There it is right there. Look, it actually got hit twice, it looks like, right there and right there. So 2 missiles, unless that could have just been secondary explosion from something else whenever it got detonated, whenever this missile hit. But yeah, you know, Kharkiv came under attack as well. It wasn't just Lviv regions and also Zaporizhzhia. And this is actually the first time in a little while that we've heard of attacks inside of Kharkiv. I just did a report from the governor, I think it was the governor of, or mayor, excuse me, the mayor of Kharkiv, forget his name, but he came out recently, just maybe a week or 2 ago, and he was reporting that everything was relatively quiet in Kharkiv, that they had the situation under control. It was the first time they had a period of calm, and now it looks like that period of calm is over again, at least for now that we're starting to see strikes inside of Kharkiv once again. So yeah, just very crazy, guys. Just wanted to report this and get this out there to you. But that's going to be it for this update. If you got something out of this, please smash that like button. Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, I hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless. And we'll see you in the next one.